ladies, germs, all of you in between and out between. We are gathered here today to celebrate the Video Game Awards for 2021. I have remembered that I will display an accent for this part. I am your co-host, Delfino Durians.
And I'm Peach Supreme.
I thought you'd go with the bit.
Was I supposed to do a voice?
I thought you'd go with the bit.
You know that whenever you ask me to do an accent, all accents immediately leave my mind.
Okay. Not even British? I
literally cannot think of a single accent.
That's
right
funny because
it's like when you're like, name a big monster. I'm like, big monsters. I can't think of any. And you're like, King Kong. Duh. I'm like,
associated with beauty.
Because, okay, when you say large beast and associated with beauty, I think Beauty and the Beast, and I can't get off that train of thought once it starts rolling.
You can think Beauty and the Beast, but if you're lame and you've watched King Kong, then you'll know that the end quote of the movie is, "It was Beauty! It was not he. It was not Jack, he who killed the beast. It was Beauty who killed the beast."
I'm like, okay, you know I haven't seen King Kong in a while.
She did not physically kill the beast, but she killed the beast in being a possession.
He fell in love.
Yes.
Or something.
He did. He was attracted to her.
Enough about
King Kong and
all that.
Movies.
Hello and welcome to Delfino and Peach's Supershow Saga. Did you already introduce us?
Yes, we did.
Deja vu. Okay.
I've been here in this place before. Trying the beach at the bottom.
What I meant to say, welcome to our first, I guess, annual Supershow Saga Awards.
Video Game Awards. Supershow Saga Edition.
Yes.
There you go. Because if you've looked at the Game Awards and you thought there's too much products being shown, and not enough biased opinions about Nintendo products.
Oh yeah.
You've gotta come in
This
here.
has stemmed from a thing I've been doing for a few years where I've just been so upset.
Truly a few years. It's just like a couple.
Years.
2.
I've been so upset by like the Oscars and the Video Game Awards and stuff. It's like they never talk about what I want them to talk about. No one respects the animation category.
Well, it's true. They had to fight tooth and nail to get that. And I always think back to that Walt Disney documentary on KET where it's like they had Shirley Temple hand him the special award so he couldn't get mad. He's like, "Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And then when he got back to the office, he's like throwing stuff off the desk. So he's like, "We don't make entertainment, we make art." And that's where they were like, "We need to make art in Fantasia." Speaking of,
so I was like,
we are long due for a Fantasia.
That is very true.
Oof, we need that.
So
Fantasia.
I was just like, you know what? I'll just make my own top 10 list or whatever. And then like as I was making it, I'm like, you know, it'd be more fun if we had more stupid categories.
Or also that if I got Delfino involved.
And if I got Delfino involved. I think last year I got you involved.
Yeah. And that's where it really took off into, well, I want this category.
Before, it's like,
because
I have a couple saved up from like the past decade of top 10 lists.
Because guess what? This is our top 10 lists, and we make the rules. That's the ultimatum.
So things are very clearly biased with games that we've played. I guess I should put it out there. I haven't played Metroid Dread.
/watched.
/watched also. I haven't played Metroid Dread, aka there will not be a lot of Metroid Dread on this list. Sorry. I know it's a great game.
And it's a very important game to hardcore gamers. We could invite Vaz on, because I think he's a hardcore Metroid gamer.
Like, I like Metroid, but like, I'm just horrible at platformers, you know?
I find that Metroid to me is a tough cookie, because it's cool, but trying to make a story, like a broad universe out of it, is really, it's a little tough after Super Metroid, because either it ties back to Super Metroid, or it could be, what's in my preference, Samus goes to a random planet and just takes care of stuff, and leaves and goes, well, that was messed up. And then the next game, she goes back to that planet because there's even more weird stuff going on in there.
So the rules for this game, the rules for this list, I guess.
Awards ceremony
of sorts is that
it's 5 items.
5 picks per category. We can pick our number 1 and our runner-up.
Because it's not just number 1. I think number 2s should be mentioned.
Although it should also be mentioned that for it to make the 5, we have to have liked it a lot, so...
Yeah.
The fact that it made the list at all shows how great it is.
Some categories we did have to dig.
I did have to dig.
The bottom of the barrel.
Sorry.
Either because we forgot. There was probably more to offer, but we were just like, it did not come to our attention that they existed.
There will be a lot of bias. I've noticed recently, it's like, I tend to favor games that I'm currently fixating on.
It's the hyperfixation law.
It's like I had a bunch of one game on the list, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't put this other one on the list, and so then I've been...
You replace it all.
Okay, fine. I've been watching a lot of Psychonauts recently.
But before Psychonauts, I was calling you up for Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
I was saying Security Breach came out right at the end of the year, and so it's all I was thinking about. So I was like, I'll just put all these FNAF characters in there. And you're like, no, you can't fill it with FNAF.
But in that other sense, I feel like the opposite would happen to me, where I would suddenly obsess over a game that had come out at the very end of the year, right into the new year. So I was thinking, we need to put Bugsnax on this list, and then I realized Bugsnax came out December 2020, and there was no... And because this is an Oscar law where January 2021 movies count...
Yeah, we're just counting everything that came out in 2021.
For, 2020, whatever. Mm-hmm. I couldn't overlap it over. It was like, no!
Just as long as it was put on a system in 2021.
Okay, we did debate about that. Was it did it have to be first release, or could it have been...
We've counted some ports.
Yeah.
Or remasters or such. There's a lot of categories here. We came up with about 24 categories.
Yeah. I was thinking of one more category, but we do not need more categories.
I don't know. Maybe next year, even 25.
I think I was thinking...
I was also thinking of best anniversary year.
Best mobile game.
Best mobile game. That would be fun.
Well, then that kind of overlaps with another one. Anyways, so let's just get the...
I wanted to start with some honorable mentions first.
Okay.
Of games that we played this year that did not come out in 2021.
Yes, and then I was like, I want to put this on the list, and then we looked at the tag and we're like, oh man, it didn't come out this year.
I got in a Mad Red Dead.
Yes,
that came out last
that was
year.
Another late 2020 game.
Yeah, there were a lot of indie games that came out in 2020 that I learned about in 2021. There was Sakura Race and Run. I put my most effort into it this January.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so fun.
That's because you got the whole fancy edition.
I did.
I guess we'll alternate. I played, because it was on sale, Part-Time UFO. Just a little HAL Lab game. It's little, but it's very modest, but it's really great, and it knows its limitations, and you can tell that it was made by a HAL Laboratory, but it's not like that rhythm game on 3DS that was made by Game Freak, where they're like, hey, you know what we did? We did Pokemon. Let's put Pokemon songs into the game. There was maybe one mission with Kirby characters in it. And it's like,
and that was just in the Switch version.
Yeah. And it's like, dang, they're independent of HAL, but also they just exude that HAL charm that also got me into Picross 3D. I think I also played Picross 3D this year. That was another game we played.
You played Picross 3D? Oh,
I play Chris 3D every year because it's the best Picross experience.
Oh, the Picross game you did play was Murder by Numbers.
Ooh, that was another one. That one is just... It's what Ace Attorney... It's exactly what we want out of Ace Attorney. Because most people, when they like Ace Attorney...
It's what I wanted about...
Danganronpa.
It's what I wanted from Ace Attorney v. Professor Layton.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Danganronpa, where it's the class trial. Danganronpa just gets... It's not sad like Doki Doki. It just gets a little depressing. Too crazy.
I just stopped for a while because I got all sad. I was just like, oh, man.
That's what Doki Doki makes me feel. Mm-hmm. Another one was, again, Bugsnax. That's just a game that... I was aware that it came out, but I didn't watch somebody play it until RT Game made his super long play of it. And I'm like, dang, now I understand Bunger. Bunger, Bunger, Bunger. Bunger,
Around
Bunger.
July and August, when everybody was going crazy about Skyward Sword, I actually sat down and I 100%ed Wind Waker HD.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
What would you rate it?
I often say it's my favorite video game.
Because I'd give it a 10 out of 10, and original Wind Waker a 9 out of 10.
I give original 9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
That's good.
Because there are some things that you can't get without that Game Boy adapter, and that's very annoying. And I still can't get the last heart piece for
I liked being able to get... Oh god, the Orca quest. That took me so long.
I hated that. I was like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm okay not getting 100%.
But I did it. I got all of the figurines for the gallery. I suppose in order to get a true 100%, I'd have to do it all again in New Game Plus, because I did it in the original game.
Okay.
But
what do you get in New Game Plus when you...
You don't get anything.
You just play the game again.
Just doing it again.
But yeah, you completed the gallery, which that became 4 times easier.
Oh my god, it was so much
easier. In fact, let's increase that to 5 times, because not only did you have 4 times the space, but you already had the color photo option.
You already had the colors. Like, you could take multiple photos and like submit multiple photos at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
It made it so fun to be like, who didn't I get a picture of? Come on, who? It was just a ton of fun. And also, you were of the opinion that they didn't need to shorten the Triforce quest.
I kind of missed the Triforce quest.
And also, like, your money. You had a lot of money.
I had so much money. It was
well, that's good, because didn't a lot of it go to the merchant trading quest?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I didn't even need all the money for the merchant trading quest. A lot of it just went from me buying that mermaid statue a million times because it was super pretty.
Wonderful mermaid statue.
I had so much money. I could have bought the Golden Guru statue and put it in every single slot in that island.
Wow. I remember having to grind for money.
I also was finding random other, like, statue spots, like on the island that you buy. Oh, that was so nice. We can't spend our whole awards talking about Wind Waker, though.
Anyways.
I also played Color Splash.
Yeah.
Which I very much enjoyed. Almost a little more than Origami King.
I find that a little funny.
Gameplay-wise, I liked it better than Origami King, but, like, story-wise, Origami King's fantastic.
I think story-wise, Origami King plays into the Toad problem. Addressing the Toad problem and calling it out and sort of reasoning through it, not just saying
any other games that you enjoyed this year.
I mean, in the mobile game department, Idolmaster Growing Stars came out, which is like, it's exactly, I was already thinking maybe I should get a different mobile game, like the ones where you tap the screen in the sections, and then suddenly Idolmaster's like, guess what, we have one, and it's 4-sided, and I'm like, oh. Yes, thank you.
You call it the Better Tsum Tsum.
No, that's a different game.
Oh, okay.
Because the collaboration game you're thinking of is Pop Links, which is the Better Tsum Tsum, because...
But it doesn't have Perry the Platypus.
It's okay that it doesn't have Perry the Platypus in it. You can get little accessories of cats and put them on your head.
Okay, that is cute.
It's good. And it's very English friendly, which I was surprised by. If you're super into rhythm games, you might not like it, because it's just a basic, like, Tsum Tsum, clear the things in the time and use special skills, but special skills aren't locked to certain people. They are in that the holiday versions are the best ones, but you could put that skill on anybody, so you could have, like, your top 3 idols that you stan and just use them forever. You don't have to be forced.
You and Pink Boy for life.
Daigo, and I'm really liking Kaneko and Shin Sato. Anyways,
I don't know what you're talking about, but good for you.
Because good anime names. So there were those. And then also
Anything
I think
else?
we both got a Picross game.
We both got Luna's Story.
Yeah, I got Luna's Story too.
You know, it's just a dumb Picross game that fills the void of
and it's super it was after Murder by Numbers that we needed it. And
I was just like, I need more Picross in my life.
Yeah, and there's two different types of Picross games in the world. I call them the Mario and Wario games, because really Mario's Picross is one of the better ones to get you to it. Mario's Picross is turn your brain off and just fill in the puzzle, where if you get something wrong, the game will tell you.
Go,
and you'll be like, ow.
And you can use the save states feature to cheat.
Or just the rewind feature. But then Wario's Picross is like, I'll tell you what's here, but if it's correct, I won't tell you anything until it's 100% correct. And that's also what Murder by Numbers had. Which, man, it was just the tension of like, I need to finish this puzzle. What's going on? I need to know.
I need to know what's going on with the story. Oh, Murder by Numbers is so good.
It was a really fun game. Anywho,
it's a shame we didn't play it in 2020 because I totally would have filled the list with Murder by Numbers characters. All right, so let's jump on in with our
Game of the Year, because that's what we're all here for, right? Is the number one. So our number one contestants are No More Heroes 3, Psychonauts 2, WarioWare Get It Together, Miitopia on Nintendo Switch, and new Pokemon Snap.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'd say the interesting thing here is that I played 3 of these games.
Only 3? Oh yeah, I've played 2.
It was a tie between Pokemon Snap and Diamond and Pearl, but you know, Pokemon Snap was just so creative and out there.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of my love for Diamond and Pearl, I understand, comes from my bias of loving Gen 4.
Yeah. It was a Tumblr post that said,
because a lot
your
of
favorite generation is based on your age range. And I'm like, wow, I'm 30.
A lot of people had very valid complaints about Diamond and Pearl. And I'm like, look, you can say whatever you want, but like, I'm just sitting here immersed in the game, and
the valid complaint I didn't even recall was how much of its time it spent not just in battle. Like everyone talks about HP bars. I found the HP bars going slow to be a tension thing, because it'd be like I'd hit Lance with my ice beam from Vaporeon, and I'd go, come on. And it'd just be like, it gets your anticipation up, but it's like, there's so many HMs, there's so much world, you gotta go back and forth so many times. It's a lot of handiwork. I think the estimated time to beat it was about 40 to 50 hours just to get to Cynthia. It's a lot.
Yeah, but I'd say this list can succinctly be divided into games that I played a lot and had a really fun time with, and games that are like great games.
Yeah, just all around good games
that I sadly have not been able to play, either due to lack of skill or lack of hardware.
Well, I think I could maybe tackle No More Heroes 3, but I'd want to play 1 and 2 beforehand.
I did end up getting No More Heroes 1 just because I was enjoying No More Heroes 3 so much.
Okay. How far did you get into 3? Like,
I watched everything from 3.
Oh, and sorry, I meant 1.
In 1? Oh, I haven't gotten that far.
Did you even beat one of the ranked assassins?
Yeah, you have to do that in the tutorial mission.
Oh, okay, you beat the... Well, you beat up Helter Skelter in the tutorial mission, but I mean the first guy.
Okay, I guess
who looks like Leon.
Leon?
Yeah, did you beat Leon?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then you haven't played the game much.
I haven't played a lot of it.
Okay. Anyways, so
I played enough to pet my cat, and that was
that's the you didn't play No More Heroes 2, where you have to work Jean out because she got fat.
Oh, poor Jean. But yeah, No More Heroes 3 is fantastic.
It's really, really good. Psychonauts 2 was that,
you know, I was sitting
Diamond
on it for
in the
a while.
Rough.
It's the game that I'm currently like obsessed with. That I'm like, I need more Psychonauts 2. It's so great.
I mean, now you're feeling how people felt 16 years ago, where they got this great game and they're like, "Where's more?" And they're like, "Well, that's it."
It's kind of weird. No More Heroes and Psychonauts are kind of in that same situation where they're both games that have a real cult following. That everyone was like, "Could we please get a sequel?" And then the people are like, "All right, we'll bring out a sequel that has its heart in it."
And it's kind of done now.
It's like, what do you
unlike
mean
a lot
it's
of
done?
these other sequels and whatevers that came out this year, it's like, you know what, we really put some thought into it. Because Psychonauts 2 really does feel like a good continuation of the first game.
That's good. Did it get the same writers and staff people?
Yeah, it's all the same people.
Okay.
They brought back a lot of the voice actors. It's just got the same vibe.
Yeah.
It just looks amazing now.
And then WarioWare was that surprise game. I think it got announced in 2021.
It did. It got announced at E3, I think. And then it just... I was like, what? WarioWare? I will say, though, I think I still enjoy Gold better.
We'll get to it when we... I guess this is our time to talk about it. But yeah, me and Bryce Dewitt from the House of Mario disagree on this fact. He sees WarioWare Gold as more of a, hey, remember this? It's a recycling of micro games.
I will say WarioWare Gold is one of the best anniversary collections.
I think it's an anniversary collection without being one on the label.
Yeah.
Because
like it introduces you to the series if you've never known it, but it's also like
you'll recognize the micro games.
Recognize the micro games. Like,
but it's true that some of them are different, like
in its best form.
Like the weird smooth moves one where you drink the juice. That was just a guy in the first one, and then they changed it to Wario. But some micro games are direct copies. The one where you shake Mario's hand, the one where you gotta grab the mug, the one where you're the Wario and you gotta avoid the red things and grab the green things. Some of them are one-to-one copies, but other ones are like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it has
I wish that you could unlock the ability to switch up micro games like while still playing in other people's stages, because like I love the music in some people's stages more than I love the micro games that are associated with those stages.
Sad. I mean,
and it's just like, oh.
I think Gold also introduced theming to the micro games, because before, if they had a theme, it was really like,
because it's like I love the Nintendo micro games. So it's like I kind of wish I could play them on other stages too.
Well, that's what Gold was so good about, is that it split it up into 3 categories: mash, touch, twist. Because with the 3DS, you had gyro controls, button controls, and touchscreen controls. You've only really got.
We're just turning this into a commercial. Please buy Warioware Gold. It's fantastic.
It's already also it's at a lower price than like mainline Switch games, which, not to take away from them, but it's like it's worth the price that you pay
I'd say
for
the
it.
biggest subtractor to me is that there wasn't full voice acting.
That's
like there wasn't Gold.
Because
that was fantastic in Gold.
Yes, full voice acting,
and the voice acting there is and Get It Together is very good, but it's just I want more.
It's true, we want more. And Gold just provided so much stuff, even little silly extended micro games like the signature one where the game's like, we don't like your signature.
I hate that one. It's like, quit judging me, game.
Shut up, game.
And I guess we already kind of talked about Snap. Snap is very good. I loved it a lot. Miitopia
was another surprise one where it got announced either late 2020 or early 2021, and I was like, stop the presses. I'm buying this now. We're buying it, because already we had gone through the struggle of trying to get you a used copy.
Well, it's that you'd played Miitopia, and I was just kind of like, oh, it's okay. And
I'm like, no, it's fantastic. And it is 1 per save file.
And so I found it on sale one day, and I was like, maybe not.
It was $12.
It was $12, and then the next day we went back, and it was gone, and then
we went hunting on
I went hunting, and I couldn't
an hour-long road trip.
Just like, I guess it's just not meant to be. So now it's meant to be because I played it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Physically, so we can each have a different file about it.
It was so much fun.
We
were playing so much that we were fighting over who got to have it in the Switch.
I mean, that's just the best kind of game. That's why we bought 2 different versions of Animal Crossing, to prevent this exact thing from happening, and yet it happened again. Miitopia to me is like the perfect, if you boil down an RPG to its finest elements and push it in the direction of the player and say,
and I like
you do what you want with it.
It's kind of like Dragon Quest 10.
It's like 9? Dragon Quest 10.
9?
No.
On the 30th. On the DS.
You're right, because 10 is the RPG.
10 is the
MMO.
MMO.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 Sentinels of the Starry Skies.
Yeah.
Where you basically, they let you custom create your whole team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that for the whole game.
Right.
You can customize everything. Like, you can have Nicki Minaj as the desert superstar.
I mean, we'll get to it when we get to remakes.
And the fact that you can take other people's creations online, so, like, people who are far more creative than me create,
far
like,
better at making memes.
create, like, the perfect Luigi, and I'm like, okay, I'll just use that Luigi.
I do believe that, but it still
is fun to make your own
I do
memes.
it half and half, where I'll see someone who's made a Cure Coral meme, and I'm like, that's adorable, and I'll use them as the base, and I'll make a Sango out of the Cure Coral.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'll simplify some things, because I do think it's fun to use those original me elements. I don't just want to paint over their face, which the thing I was worried about.
It's also a game that's hard to put in these other categories, just because, like, it's fun in itself, but it's like, there's really no, like, characters, because the characters are you and whoever you decide to put in. Like, I've got me, you, my anime persona self, and
I like
Kamek.
And Kamek, I had all the Mucal Dreamy people. I haven't actually finished the game again because I played it so much on the 3DS that I'm like,
I didn't finish it 100%. I'm still in the bonus areas.
Impossible.
It's just so hard.
That's impossible.
I think
and
I
that's
unlocked
not the point of Miitopia.
Vampire. I don't know if I unlocked the other hidden class yet.
Elf. Yeah.
Elf.
I don't think I ever got Elf. Anyways, yeah, it's half because I played the game before.
There's just so many games to play.
That it's like, I can't sink my RPG time into this. So,
alright, so it's time to pick our picks.
So this is a long way to talk about it, but should I go first? I'll go first.
Please go first. I'm still deciding.
My game of the year shall be No More Heroes 3. Because to me, it was like the Bayonetta 2.
It is.
But we also can't forget Travis Strikes Again, because if you go right from 2 to 3, you're going to be missing a lot. Because Travis Strikes Again is his important game, because it's all about catching up when you've left behind so much. And it's a game about how Travis he's had enough and he wants to leave, but his past just keeps coming back to haunt him. Mm-hmm. So in this game,
I liked how mature he was in this game.
He's so mature because, again, that time off, it's been approximately 10 years since No More Heroes 2, where you kind of sealed the deal with Sylvia, sort of. But you come back and things have changed and you're like, this is weird. But you can tell that Travis, he wants to give the world another shot. But the world just keeps coming back to
kick him down.
Well, it keeps the phrasing is so weird. Mm-hmm. He's reminded again how terrible the world is. Not just this world, but the extraterrestrial world. It doesn't matter where you go in outer space and everywhere else. There's always no more heroes. Everyone is terrible and corrupt. And even though Travis has been fighting it, often post-boss fight, he'll have to talk with Sylvia. He'll be like, Sylvia, why are we doing this all over again? I
just want to talk to you, Sylvia.
Sylvia, we need to talk about the kids. And she's like, not now, Travis. I've got to go. And there's just...
I've got to do
other things. But it's a game about... It's about family.
It's about family.
It's somewhat about family. It only becomes about family, like, at the very end. But it's about family in that you can't fight this battle forever. And it's starting to take its toll on Travis. So this being the final No More Heroes game, it's like, that's so sad, but at the same time, he can't just keep doing this over and over again. The people who can keep doing this over and over again are literally insane and maniacal, like Fu, but the ones who are okay with, like, they need to come to an end. And it's like, Travis wants to come to an end, but he's signed up for this unwillingly, and he'll never stop, but we don't have to keep watching him forever and always. There's a lot more, like, merciful Travis moments in this game, where it just shows how he's been more mature.
God, I am just split.
And also the gameplay.
So
sorry, I also need to talk about the gameplay. The
gameplay, very nice.
It's very good, very nice, and it's very blatant that it rips off Breath of the Wild, but it's very, like, we did it because Breath of the Wild is good.
Because Breath of the Wild is good.
Where you can do, like, little
it's like
mini
everybody
things.
complains about games being like, oh, it's a Breath of the Wild ripoff. And I'm like, is that a bad thing? Breath of the Wild is fantastic. I'm still playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I did another playthrough of Breath of the Wild this year, of course, because I'm crazy. I'm just split between No More Heroes and Psychonauts 2. They're both so good.
Well, I guess while you're still pondering your number one, my number two will be...
Go with your gut.
Psychonauts 2.
Ooh, you got one Psychonauts 2?
Yes.
It was very good.
Because not to give WarioWare, Miitopia, New Pokemon Snap, but those are very bite-sized experiences, which are honestly how I like to consume games. No More Heroes is also a bite-sized experience.
They're very fun games.
They're fun, but am I impressed?
True, I would say none of those games really impressed me, although Miitopia was pretty good.
There were a few parts of WarioWare that I'm like, whoa. That would be certain micro games just look really good. And
like,
I'm
the other
whoa.
three, I wouldn't say they're games that I would be talking about like a few years from now.
I might be talking about Miitopia.
That's true, I do love Miitopia.
Anyways.
Oh, fine, I'll go with what I've written down. I have No More Heroes 2 as number one, and I've got Miitopia as my runner-up.
Okay.
Because I wanted to pick a game that I thought was technically impressive and a game that I actually played and enjoyed a whole lot.
Yeah. that I do.
That's my runner-up.
That's true. I've just watched these. I haven't actually experienced, like, the grinding. Although I think there's less grinding in No More Heroes 3.
Hopefully.
Anyways.
All right.
So
we're into our next category, which is Best Indie Game.
I vouched to have this be a 10-game slot, but
because you kept thinking of new indie
Peach
games.
said that's insane. We're keeping it to 5.
It's already crazy. All right, so our choices for Best Indie Game include Deltarune Chapter 2, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Cyber Shadow, and Chicory: A Colorful Tale.
And we have played 1.
You have played 1. I have
played
watched
0 and played a few.
Sorry.
My apologies to Cyber Shadow.
Just so many games.
I'm just not a Gaiden person, but the fact that Yacht Club is like,
it looked nice.
We can expand further past Shovel Knight. Like, we're not just the Shovel Knight company. We can do other 8-bit games that don't get new 8-bit games.
Apologies to Chicory. It is a game that I was made aware of recently, and I haven't had time to fully digest it.
Shout outs to King of Sushi, or Lord of Sushi, who said that game is their game of the year, and we are fools for not putting it on the game of the year list. We're very sorry, but I don't want to watch somebody play this one. I need to sit down, give up, buy it.
I watched a bit of the speed run for it, and then after that, I'm like, you know what? I just gotta actually.
I want to ingest the game.
I just gotta be in that state of mind where I want to get sad.
Oh, speaking of hand-drawn games, the other game I wanted to throw on here, but
yeah, we forgot about.
Yes, was Later Alligator.
Wait, that did come out this year?
No.
Okay.
That's what I meant, is when we were talking about games we had played this year,
right,
but couldn't put on the list, was Later Alligator. That game just, it hit all of my
the
funny
one game
spots.
that you played is that you played Deltarune Chapter 2.
Yes.
I have not played Deltarune 1 or 2. I've just kind of been absorbing what people say about it.
Which is, what have you been absorbing? Sans has been meeting with your parents. I think with Chapter 1...
I think I've been kind of sitting around waiting for, I don't know what I'm waiting for at
the
this
full
point.
game to
the
release.
Full game.
I understand that because people's understanding of it.
It's I'd rather not just be drip fed it. It's I'd rather just
Are you feeling the Homestuck?
I'm feeling the Homestuck, man. I can't do that again.
But with Chapter 2, it explored characters that I was already somewhat interested in. And it asks deeper questions, and it gets rid of a theory that everybody was worried about, and I'm like, that's good, but
it's got the meme lord.
It's replaced it with one that I'm more interested in.
That's good.
And also, it's got the meme lord secret boss. Don't They all have the Meme
Of
Lord's
course.
secret boss. That's
And
just
there's the game that I was
right.
personally the most invested in this year was Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
You were so invested in those last 2
Sorry.
weeks of
I'm
2021.
sorry.
I understand.
No, it's kind of funny. This year was actually a really interesting year for indie horror games. There was a ton of really good ones that came out that I sadly could not put them all on the list.
Such as?
There was Little Nightmares 2. Oh, God. Now that you're putting me on the spot, I can't remember. Anyway, Security Breach. Great game. I was so excited.
I'm really proud of this game
I'm
because
so impressed.
It definitely feels like
It feels like a step up.
The FNAF brand has been very in Scott's hands this entire time, and with some certain things about Scott going on that people are like, you can't play any or enjoy any of the FNAF games because bloody da 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 da, and it's like, all right, let's take a moment here and chill out, take a deep breath, and
I just feel like this is a great new evolution for the series.
This feels like Five Nights at Freddy's has become so established. It's like if Scott Cawthon put the little Freddy on the bike and pushed it away,
and now he's
without training wheels,
driving off
he's
to the sunset.
wiggling away, but he's able to move on without Scott's direct attention. And I think Security Breach was very much the first game to be like, you don't need Scott's approval. Well, you kind of do.
People are still kind of talking about it right now. It's just like,
yeah, but it's like, you can get different brains involved. You can get different people's
I think there's going
ideas,
to be DLC, and I'm looking forward to that.
All that stuff. I really...
And there's also, our final one is the memeiest game of the year.
Yes.
Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. I think I watched RT Gamer play it.
I watched Steven plays, get it for the first 20, and I'm like, this game's amazing.
It is very funny.
But it almost, to me, feels a bit like...
Slay Queen 82.
I'm worried that it's a bit in the Pikuniku area where I'm loving it because that's just calling out to me. But it's like, will I think about it in 2 to 3 years?
Pikuniku. The kick.
The kick. Well, I just like how your legs move in that game.
It's so funny.
It's like the things people say and
do.
But
yeah, it's one of those meme games that gets surprisingly serious at the end. My computer's died. Sorry.
Oops. Oh well. We'll just rely on this one. Anywho.
Luckily, I wrote everything down, so.
Yes.
All right, so your number one pick.
Deltarune Chapter 2. We have been waiting for it for years. He gave it out for free. I think that was the other thing.
He's a crazy man.
Toby is mastermind. Mm-hmm. He's just so caring to us. It introduced a lot of fun stuff. It expanded upon things.
I have to go with my heart. My number one is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Okay.
I loved it. I will say my number 2 pick was Deltarune. I'll pick, because even if I'm trying to stay away from it right now, I have to admit it's pretty great.
Yeah.
And I love Toby Fox.
My number 2 will be Chicory. Even though I haven't experienced it, it's a little bit of a faith pick right there.
And from what I've seen, it does look really good.
And from what I've seen, it looks good. But
and honestly, a paint-by-numbers game that's secretly evil does sound fantastic.
Secretly evil? Don't spoil anything for me.
You know that's how these indie games go.
What, that they're secretly
They deal with your emotions.
Well, I know that they deal with the honey nut filios, but come on. I would give it to Security Breach, but it's not fully ironed out yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that's my one complaint.
There are quite a few bugs.
Is that there's a lot of graphical bugs about it, which kind of
I think it gives it some charm.
And for a horror game, it kind of takes you out of it when they're like, Freddy, where'd you go? And Freddy model is just hanging out in the same room as you, and they're not moving, and it's like, oh, that's a mistake there. I'm sorry.
Oopsies.
I'll have to report that.
It's like Vanny was supposed to be a little creepier, but
Vanny was supposed to appear a lot more than she did.
But her AI was a little bugged out, so it didn't quite work. It's like, oh, okay.
Darn. Maybe Cyber Shadow
despite its flaws, I love it.
I guess so.
I gotta go with my heart.
Maybe right. Cyber Shadow would get that if we were
So here in the next 3 categories, or you could technically combine them into one category, but we split them up into 3 because I'm crazy.
We're insane.
So here is our best remaster or port of 2021.
Okay, so
differentiated from a remake or a new edition.
Yes.
Which are the other 2 categories.
So this stands for games that they don't just have new content attached. They don't just have...
We're on remastered.
Oh, we are? Wait, we're on this one? Yeah.
Or Oops, I must have switched it up. Sorry.
How are we doing this? We're doing best remake.
We'll do it. All right, best remake.
So what this means is that it's not just like you're porting the game over with new enhanced visuals, or you're not just porting the game over and adding new content. You are basically remaking the game from ground up in a new engine or a remade engine and adding a bunch of new stuff in there,
so that it could technically stand on its own even if the original doesn't exist.
Yeah. So, our contestants for this one are Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, Nier...
what was it called? Nier Replicant?
Nier Replicant, Famicom Detective Club.
Which game haven't we played on this list?
Sorry. And Mario Party Superstars. I have played 0 of the games on this list.
I have extensively played one. I own another, and I considered buying a third.
Oops. I guess we'll go in order.
Yeah, I kind of put Famicom Detective Club and Nier Replicant on the list.
They were because a little bit of...
That was a bit of a stretch pick.
Content
I'm
fillers.
sure they're great. I've heard really good things about Famicom Detective Club.
I've heard insanely good stuff about Nier Replicant, because it's like that first Nier game, but in the Nier Automata engine, and that's like all you need.
I don't know anything about Nier, and we're not going to spend the time talking about it.
Sorry. And Famicom Detective Club is that same, like, I think as this was coming out, we were like, but Murder by Numbers is the superior visual novel.
Obviously.
In all standard forms. So
Diamond and Pearl, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. You know, people may have their gripes, but like, I love Diamond and Pearl. And they reworked that underground so good. Oh my god, I could spend all day in there.
I feel like this game's pretty notable because I think maybe they aren't addressing this, but they are appealing to understanding.
It's appealing to me.
They're appealing to critics who say that Pokemon is more concerned about remaking what they've already had and not reinventing the wheel, and they just like every year
it's like, I think
take a repeat year.
What they assumed is like when people didn't like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, they're like, oh, they didn't like it because we changed too much.
Yeah.
I also appreciate this game because it's not the Game Freak team behind it.
That's what I'm going for.
And truly, I appreciate that they've finally, after so long, decided to, like, say, okay, maybe for remakes, we should get a different studio to do
and we shouldn't focus the main team on, like, trying to add things to a story that didn't need things added to it. Because if you have time to watch it, there's a very long video about about Omega Ruby's like remake in every possible detail, and it's that some things I do believe needed to be changed, but what Omega Ruby sadly did was it kept things as they were in Ruby and Sapphire and not Emerald, which already fixed things up. It crammed a lot of new stuff into it, and it bet a lot on making the player feel important. Like, please keep playing.
I'll say Diamond and Pearl feels more faithful to the originals. There is a bit from Platinum that they added, but it's mostly just the Diamond and Pearl experience.
Okay.
Which some people don't like, and I agree, Platinum is probably my favorite of the games. But, you know, as a person who works for a living, it's kind of nice to have a game that's a little easier.
Well, that's the whole thing. Time is money.
Time is money, and no money, no honey. We gotta move on.
Okay. So, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. This is just like what we've wanted because for so long
we love Monkey Ball 2.
Monkey Ball 2. We owned it twice, I think.
We owned it twice.
Didn't you get 2 copies of it?
No,
for
I have
birthday?
One.
Okay. That was Hamtaro. Anyways, but yeah, Monkey Ball 2, it's just that classic physics-based roly-poly game.
Monkey Billiards.
Monkey Billiards.
I'm in love.
That's your best one, Monkey Billiards. All right.
I like Monkey Billiards, okay?
I've heard Monkey Target actually isn't as good as it was before.
Well, you know, not everything.
But Monkey Racing and all that. And they've got the stages from 1, 2, and Deluxe. And I think Banana Mania. Plus,
they've got new challenge modes. They've got Dark Banana mode.
Oh, yeah,
where you can't touch any bananas.
That just stinks. But there's also a really funny edition where... What are you doing?
I'm scratching my arm. What are you doing? I'm getting distracted.
Sorry. There's also... they added from Banana... from Banana Blitz the jump button, which makes some puzzles very easy.
And according to the speedrun, the physics engine is completely different from the original.
Okay. So. I guess people tested that by...
It's different in a new way. So.
Okay.
Well, you just have to learn how to do it yourself. And then Mario Party Superstars, I have not purchased it.
I've been tempted.
But it's very tempting.
It's very much a I'll buy it if you buy it situation with my friends.
It's the original 3 Mario Parties without the jank.
Without some of the jank, but mini-games from the past.
And mini-games from the past.
8.
Not stuck in Mario Party, the top one.
Yeah. I mean, Top 100 sounded appealing to everybody, and then they got it.
Great. This is what the Top 100 wanted to be.
Yeah. Which is the Mario Party board experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that people thought just having the mini-games would be good, and then they got the game, and they realized that they needed the board to help work between those. But it's a lot of fun. You can play with people online right from the get-go.
Very nice.
Which is already a helping hand. I've heard getting connected is kind of a hassle, but whatever.
All right, we gotta pick our picks. Pick a Pikmin.
My number 1 is Banana Mania.
Nice. My number 1 is Diamond and Pearl.
Of course.
And I love Diamond and Pearl.
And number 2 is Mario Party.
Number 2 is Banana Mania for me.
Okay. There we go.
All right. Okay. So our next one is Best Remaster or Port.
So Remaster Port is when you take a game, and it's pretty much the same game.
There may be enhanced visuals, there may be enhanced gameplay modes.
Added content.
It might just be on a new console.
And like a little added
content.
Just a little, though. It's not a plus. Yeah. This and that. That's a different category. So we've got Skyward Sword HD. Which one's that?
It's called Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space.
Okay. Smt3 Nocturne HD Remaster.
It's got Pilgrim versus the World.
And Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is it Sonic Colors Infinite?
Infinite.
Okay. No.
All right. So blazing through these, because they're all ports. We've all seen them before.
Yeah, Skyward Sword. I will forever have a rod up my butt about Skyward Sword.
Sorry.
I might be a little more merciful than you, because I actually played the game.
I mean, I love Fee to death, but like, I could not justify spending another $70 on this game.
I really like Groose, but yeah, I don't want to spend another $60. Even when people say they've trimmed some of the fat, I'm like, that's okay, but the game itself, the bones are the fat.
The essential bones
are the fat.
Are flawed, so it's kind of hard.
It's hard to make it a favorite.
I guess Sam & Max is my pick. They remastered the second Telltale game this year, and it's just as good as the first one. There aren't as many changes as with the first remaster that they did
You
last
did mention
year.
There was a slight controversy over some of the content not being changed.
Yeah, I don't find it as much of a big deal, though.
Okay.
You just have to take it with a grain of salt in the time period.
And also that you have to just imagine it being different. Like they didn't turn Max straight.
No, they didn't turn Max straight. He just learned how to flirt. It's fine.
Smt3 Nocturne, this is one of those games that's like, you aren't a real gamer unless you played Persona 3. SMT3. Like, you play your
Persona
stupid
3
Persona
on the Switch.
No, you don't play your stupid Persona games. You gotta play Nocturne. And it's very much, it's a game that will kick you in the shins.
They added voice acting.
And then kick you while you're crying because you don't understand the meaning of pain yet. But a lot of that did become easier because they added the miraculous, and I think this is just something all games need, save anywhere system.
Yes, please.
Because Nocturne had a save at a save station system, which is very annoying.
Or you can just do both, like have a save station and have a save anywhere.
Because sometimes when you have a save anywhere system, you don't remember to save. So I think that's what Nocturne does. Mm-hmm. I'm not super sure, again, haven't played it, but it's that same Nocturne greatness. The bosses are still as broken as before. Your demons are still as broken as before. Just get Daisojo and get prayer really, really fast, and everything will be easy.
Say your prayers in the Minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
That's Apocalypse, isn't it? Oops, sorry.
Minotaur? Yeah, Minotaur is 4. You're thinking Matador, who's from 3.
Yes.
Who he will beat you up and do it and resurrect you and to do it again. So then there's Scott Pilgrim.
Which, we kind of just gave it on the list just for It's
returning.
interesting. It was one of those games that was kind of lost to time, and it's cool that it's actually back in physical form. Is it physical?
Probably.
I don't know. And then Sonic Colors.
I feel old.
That was
like, what? It's not time for a remake for that one just yet.
Oh, it's like 11 years old. Oops.
No.
We're old ladies. I felt that way with
We're
Skyward
old
Sword. I'm like,
crones.
dang. Skyward Sword is 10. I remember going to the store and buying the deluxe edition.
We are but old crones. But Sonic Colors, I mean, I think
I'm sure it's great.
But not my Sonic game. Hashtag not my Sonic game.
Hashtag not my Sonic. Okay.
Okay. So my number one is surprisingly Skyward Sword. Because they did try to trim a lot
My number
out.
one, unsurprisingly, is
of course,
Sam & Max
yes.
Beyond Time and Space, because I love it. I bought it immediately.
There we go. And then,
I cannot wait. Please remaster the third one.
I think it'll be good when if the third one matches the visuals of this one.
I would like that.
That is exactly
that
what
was
we
one
need.
of my bigger complaints about the third one.
Is that it took so long between 2 and 3?
Yeah, it took too much of a visual gap.
Jump.
It was a big visual jump, and I'm just like, oh, can we maybe tie it in? And then maybe get a fourth original game, please? Okay.
And my number 2 will be Nocturne, because, again, it's good to release these Atlas games on different systems and on digital systems, because that was the other thing holding Nocturne back, was you had to have a PlayStation or you were kind of sunk. So
I'll give it to Skyward
So now
Sword.
we can all not have an excuse for not getting good and playing
If
Nocturne.
you've never played Skyward Sword, I'd say this is the version to get. But as someone who played Skyward Sword on the Wii, I'm like, no, I don't
Not
need it
again.
Not again. I can't do it again.
We just
Alright, and so for our final category that sounds the same, it's Best New Edition.
Which is basically the plus version.
A port that has new content. So did we decide if we're going to include everything or if we're just going to judge the new content?
I don't think we did decide that, but let's just keep it to the new content, because you're kind of bringing in the baggage with the old.
Well, we're in trouble because our first one is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, and I don't actually remember what the new content was.
You got a lot more.
They added
between girls interaction.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really what I want out of these dating games, which is the answer is I don't want the girls fawning over me. I want the girls to get together with each other and to be friends and maybe lovers. There's a really good Yuri and Natsuki moment.
You know what? That actually sounds perfect.
In this game, where it's like they're fighting over doing nice things for each other, and it boils with like Natsuki being like, "Why do you even waste your time with me? Like, you could be spending it so much better elsewhere." And then Yuri's like, "Because I like spending time with you." And there's a really long silence, and they're like,
okay. Alright, so I guess we should get into the specific categories. We've got Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, we've got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and continuing the trend of really long Mario titles. We've got No Straight Roads Encore Edition, Miitopia for the Switch, and Danganronpa Decadence, which was it's the 10th anniversary collection?
Yes.
Yeah.
World.
Okay. Anyways. We already talked about Doki Doki.
Yeah.
Bowser's a Furry.
Bowser's a Furry was a big change. To me, that just felt like something that somebody was playing around with.
It really felt like an experiment for how do we combine Mario Odyssey with classic Mario gameplay from Mario 3D World.
Right.
And it's pretty great.
Yeah.
I will say it's not so great 2-player. Yeah. I did play some 2-player at the mall demo kiosk. It was okay.
Okay.
My boyfriend wasn't so into it. So.
Okay.
No Straight Roads, I know more about that than you.
Yeah.
Basically, they just had an updated version where they fixed some of the bugs, they remixed some of the songs, etc. More costumes.
Yeah. Miitopia.
It's kind of a sleeper hit indie game.
Yeah.
It's a little buggy, but I still love it.
Okay. And then,
Miitopia didn't add a ton of new content. Really, it was just the super expanded customization feature and the horse.
Those were the two things. And it was just bringing back that old game plus those two things.
But you know what? Those two things were great.
I think
the horse really made so busted.
Blossom.
I love it.
There is a detraction from it, though, which is that you can't really search for characters anymore. Like, before you could type in a name, a gender, a hobby, and it's annoying how they did that out. But now you can do it where if you get a me from somebody, you can, like, get a me from where they had a me from when they, and then you go, like, through a whole track record, and it's pretty good.
So if your friend has a bunch of me's that you like, you can just take them.
Yeah.
And then Danganronpa Decadence, it's all 3 games plus the new summer mode.
Yeah. Mukujin's played it.
You know, I didn't see a lot of it. Is it like
it's like
Persona Q?
Dokapon.
Okay.
It's more
like
Dokapon.
Like when I saw it, I immediately thought Persona Q, and I'm like, is it like that? No.
It's not a dungeon crawler. That's what Q is.
I'd say it's cool seeing
but it's
characters
like
from all the games
that
interacting
you mush them together.
And everyone is in a fan service swimsuit.
Yes. Even though some of those swimsuits are admittedly not the best. My favorite trend lately has been when people on other websites such as Twitter or Tumblr
liked Ibuki's swimsuit the best, right?
I mean, hers just...
It was cute.
Ibuki's... I thought you said Iruma out of Miyu Iruma, and I'm like, well, I've seen better swimsuits of her. But we'll get to this topic later.
We will not, because I've taken it off.
You took it off? The list?
Off the alternate costume list, yeah.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll talk about it now. A lot of the guys, they got fun outfits. Like, most of them got swim trunks. Some of them have jackets.
This is so funny.
It
just looks like a bowling ball.
We don't mean to fat shame around these parts.
He just has a very interesting body type. It's like the Patrick Ruffin thing. He's got small legs and a big old round body, and it's just like, oh my god. But you know what?
Are his arms tiny or are his arms big too?
His arms are very tiny.
Okay, then he's like Ruffin in a human body, and his swimsuit is admittedly very cringe.
It's funny though, but he's just wearing what he wants.
Danny has a funny outfit. It's got alien swim trunks, but a lot of the girls just fall into
like,
bikinis. And it's like other people have come up with so many better ideas.
I did like Sonia's swimsuit. That one was cute.
For example, the cosplayer girl from 3, someone mentioned that her swimsuit should have been someone from JoJo Part 6 Stone Ocean because they wear swimsuits in that part. It's like, why didn't you do it? It's so easy.
Alrighty, so time for our picks.
I'm gonna say Miitopia.
I picked Bowser's Fury.
Okay, it really added a lot.
I picked Miitopia for my number 2.
And my number 2 will be Bowser's Fury.
It was just a very good addition.
We just alternate.
Yeah, and we got that sweet junior content that I'm always there for.
I am living.
Alright, so we're finally out of remake hell onto best multiplayer game.
Yes. So these are games that are good for the whole party. So our topics for this one are Jackbox Party Pack 8, because there's a party pack every year, Mario Party Superstars, WarioWare Get It Together, Monster Hunter Rise, and Mario Golf Super Rush. Super Rush.
You keep calling it Sugar Rush. It's hilarious to me.
It just, the words are very similar.
S-U-G-A-R, jumping through your
Listen, you gotta just change a vowel and a consonant, and it's the same thing. So Jackbox Party Pack 8, I was a big fan of all the games. Some people don't love all the games in this collection, but I
always feel like there's some really big hits and then some misses. That's just how it is with every party pack.
Yeah, but I really like
Drawfly Animate's interesting, especially since Gartic Phone has been exploding. It's like, did they just pick that one because of Gartic Phone? Or
I think it was just a natural evolution.
It is.
I really like Pole Mine because that game can be played so different depending on if you can hear the other team or not, or if the other team will accidentally help the other one. Like, it's meant to be a whisper game, but everyone's just loud. And then it devolves into, I picked number 1. Well, I picked number 2. I think almost it would be better if it was like Guespionage, where it was just statistics, but the group statistics makes it funny. Like, when there's a question that asks about coffee, like, do you like coffee or not? And coffee's one of the options, and nobody votes for it. It's like, well, yeah, no one here drinks coffee. We know this. So there's that. Will Vanora's Proportions is one of those, like, I should have remembered this, but now I don't.
Games. What is a Pop-Tart?
No, it's not that.
I'm just kidding.
It's more like, which gods are Greek gods? And you're like, oh no. Ah, shoot. Weapons drawn, I'm really bad at that one, but it's a lot of fun. Because you've got to murder and solve crimes. And it's really fun if you have a
I just
person.
keep thinking of the weird dinosaur tank from when they played Doodle Date. Father, why? Father, no.
Job can be funny. Job is especially funny if some people are very wordy and you're like, oh, I know who wrote these words. Like some of the words are in all caps and it's like, oh, we know you did that.
Alright, so we already talked a bit about Mario Party Superstars. It's just that classic Mario Party punch your friends in the face experience.
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Although there's no GameCube, so you can't grab the handle and beat your friends.
Getting together is interesting because it's played different when you have two people, but I don't know if I'd necessarily say it's better with two people. I enjoyed playing it single player.
I think it's kind of balanced out when it's two player because sometimes in single player you'll
They
use
do
a
make
character
it a little harder.
You'll use a character that just is not good for the micro game at all, and hopefully your other person will have one that maybe is better, or you get stuck squishing grapes together.
Oh god. So you wanted to put Monster Hunter Rise on the list.
Because we didn't put it anywhere.
That's true. I'm sure it's a great game. I just don't know anything about
That's
Monster
the thing.
Hunter.
It's not even my type of game. I don't like games where you spend 30 minutes beating up a big dragon and then it takes 2 flicks and you're all done and you've wasted all 30 minutes. And it's like, this is evil. But it's a really good Monster Hunter game if you've got Monster Hunter Bros.
If you like Monster Hunter, then you'll enjoy it quite a bit. I like the Japanese aesthetics.
Yes.
And then Mario Golf. Yeah. You know, I wasn't super looking forward to it, but we played some with our dad and it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking forward to it just because I really enjoyed tennis.
I did like tennis, although I enjoy tennis more than golf.
And this game knows how to get me. And also the multiplayer, because they made a big improvement.
Yes, the multiplayer,
if you were on it can't be done with 4 or 3 people, but if you're playing 2-player, you can both golf at the same time on stroke mode.
Thank you.
Thank you
Very nice.
so much. And you can also do the same on online. There's no waiting for people unless you set it in the rules. And it's a lot of fun multiplayer. People are like, I can't find anyone multiplayer. And it's like, well, that's okay. Just play with the comm. They'll probably beat you up like they do me.
I like the running mode. It's fun.
Speed golf? Well, that doesn't really have to do with multiplayer.
Why? You play it with other people.
Well, you do. Which is true. It's that you have to balance being thoughtful in golf and also moving. And you get to move around the course.
And sabotage
and really,
each other.
you get to really explore the course if you want to. Try and find shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. But you get to just take in the level.
So what would you say is the best multiplayer game of 2021?
Jackbox Party Pack 8.
Yeah, me too.
Because you don't need a copy of the game to, play it with somebody else. I think that's what makes it really good.
Yes. Although, I will say my number 2 was Mario Golf Super Rush.
Number 2 is Mario Party. Mario Party is the ultimate get your friends in the pit and fight game.
I don't know. I just had a lot of fun playing Mario Golf.
I do understand. I think Golf would rank higher if it did what the 3DS mode did, which was you could hold a tournament with some people.
True,
and that you could play the courses at your own leisure and you'd have a deadline, and then at the very end of it, you would see who won. And it's like, that's a lot better than hoping that everyone is all there at the same time. Sadly, that wasn't there, but you take what you can get.
All right, now moving out of our game section and moving on to our music section with Best Soundtrack of 2021.
So we got Miitopia, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Psychonauts 2, and Delfino Chapter 2. I'm a little worried on time, so I'm just gonna say my number 1.
Whoa! We're not even gonna jump in!
Right out the door, and it's Miitopia.
Yeah, you're right. Miitopia is just too good. It's better than it should be.
It scratches that same itch that Ring Fighter does.
If you've never heard the final boss theme from Miitopia, then pause the video, pause the podcast, sit your booty down, and go listen to it. It's so good.
It's so rockin'.
It slaps so hard.
And I like how each world has a different battle theme. I like how there's different mini boss, event boss, this boss, that boss, finaler boss, finalist boss themes. I love it when games just explore the battle
There's
theme.
an original theme
because
for each world.
there's a different title theme for each world.
I
It's
love
so
it.
good. There's nothing worse
I would
with an
sit
RPG.
on the title screen just to listen to it.
I love Final Fantasy VII, but there's nothing worse than just you listen to that same theme over and over and over again. It gets annoying. But Miitopia makes sure to prevent that and just has fun songs. And also there's funny music like... I don't know what it's
so
called.
dumb.
It's just the
dopey theme when you're having a heart with someone.
when you're having a brain fart.
Well, what's going on? All right, what's your number 2?
Deltarune.
Toby Fox is a master. I have to go with Diamond and Pearl just because, I love the original Diamond and Pearl soundtrack, and now I get to listen to it fully orchestrated. It's just bringing a tear to my eye while I'm walking to Snow Point City.
Shout out to Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, though, for having...
fantastic.
I mean, the Pursuit theme? Oh, yeah.
That whole soundtrack is fantastic.
It's really good.
Like your friend's theme, I'm blanking on his name. I think
Aogami?
Aogami? Aosumi, something like that. His theme is
Asogumi.
baller.
I haven't experienced Psychonauts 2 music enough.
It's very jazzy and fun. I like it.
I mean, I'm there for jazzy and fun, too. Then there's original song.
So we've got Penny's Mix from WarioWare Gold. We've got the Fury Bowser theme from Bowser's Fury.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Big Shot from Deltarune Chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
I put KK
Robot
Synth, but really you could put whichever KK song from the new update suits your fancy because they're all so good.
They're really good.
And then
I wish
from
they were
No More
longer.
Heroes 3, we've got Musical Chairs, which
is the
I
song...
listened to today, and I'm like, this was not the song I remembered.
It's the song that you fight. It's the song that plays when you fight Velvet Chair Girl, which is just a really funny boss fight in general, because it's introduced with the Pop Team Epic animation studio doing the intro, and it's like, this is weird.
This is so weird.
And she's like, we're gonna play musical chairs now. And then you beat her. And it's a spoiler what happens next. But
so you picked Big Shot out of
I vouched for Big Shot. And I'm like, first we have to listen to these songs. And then we can listen to Big Shot.
Theme. We listen to Spam.
Now it's time to be
and then we listen to Big Shot.
Big Shot.
I'm like, okay, I see why people love this song. It's pretty great.
It is.
And, you know, give it to Fury Bowser. That song is jamming. Like,
it is absolutely.
I don't know. I hope this train of Nintendo using vocalizations in their songs continues because it's great.
One-winged angel, but for Bowser. I don't know. That's so good.
And truly, this year was the year of Penny because her song is so good. I sing it on repeat. You know, I guess I have a bias for Penny.
Yeah.
Because I dressed up as her for Halloween this year.
Anyways.
I listened to the song.
What's your number one?
So my number one pick is Penny's Mix from WarioWare.
Okay.
Get it together.
I think because you've made the category so broad, my number one will be the new KK songs.
Okay.
Because it's so many.
That is my number two.
My number two.
My favorite new KK song is KK Robosynth. What was yours?
I like Bashment.
Bashment is pretty good. Although I've also been listening to KK
Break.
KK Break.
It's just fun.
KK Lovers.
And my number two will go to Big Shot because
you got to be a big shot.
Chris, was that a big shot? But shout outs to Musical Chairs for just being a vibin' song.
It is very vibin'.
The other one that I was like, maybe I should put it on here is the sushi theme where you go to the sushi restaurant.
I also
I
also want to give a shout out to Smell the Universe from Psychonauts 2, which was almost on the list and then it slipped off at the end. I was just like, it was so good.
Yeah.
We had to give it to Big Shot though.
But the Yellow Submarine Nowhere Man imagery, it's like,
yes.
They just know.
Jack Black is too good.
Alright, then there's remix songs.
Best remix song. So we've got the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 medley that came with the Pyramithra DLC from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We've got the Blooming Villain remix from Persona 5 Strikers, the English version that came out this year.
Yeah.
We've got the James Landino versus Eve remix that came out with No Straight Roads Encore Edition.
Mhm.
We've got the recolored version of Sonic Colors, Reach for the Stars. And I kind of struggled to think of a Diamond and Pearl song, so I went with Dialga and Palkia's theme.
Okay.
There are a lot of really good songs. I really like what they did with the Team Galactic member song.
The grunt music? Or the Commander?
The Commander theme.
Okay.
It's actually a lot better than it was in the original.
Wow.
But you know what? I just love Dialga and Palkia's theme.
Okay.
I mean, we already had a bunch of great remixes for all of the Diamond and Pearl music.
We're not even halfway through the list and I feel like we're running out of time.
Oh my gosh.
Name your 1 and 2, go.
Number 1 is Blooming Villain from Persona 5 Strikers because it's so good.
Yeah. The original was more thoughtful, but this one's like you're in the moment and it's out to kill you. So that's why
it works better in a non-RPG setting.
Yeah. So number 1 for me too. And your number 2?
My number 2 is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, mostly just because a thing I didn't mention was that I got into Xenoblade Chronicles 2 this year because Chuck Conroy's been playing it. And by coincidence, Pyramithra got into Smash. And it really is a good encapsulation of the music of Xenoblade Chronicles.
I'll give it to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl for number 2.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Yay! Alright, next is voice acting.
Alright, so this is voice acting for the whole game, so it includes the entire voice cast.
Yeah.
So we're talking
WarioWare,
Get It Together, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, No More Heroes 3, Psychonauts 2, and Persona 5 Strikers English version.
Oof, I'm just gonna come right out the gate. Number 1 for me is No More Heroes 3. Not just because of the voice talent being great, but they dragged some really old names out of retirement for just a few lines. And it's like, dang.
It was some good stuff, but I gotta give it to Psychonauts 2 because they got some great voice actors.
That's where my second place will go, is to Psychonauts 2.
They got back I think they got back all the people from the original, and the new additions fit right in.
They do. It's just, they're
so my number 2
goes
goes to No More Heroes 3.
Okay.
Because it was fantastic.
But yeah, Strikers English cast. It is fun, but didn't win. Security Breach was also on the okay-ish side.
I'm so glad that FNAF has voice acting now. It really elevates the experience.
Yeah. And some people, it's like they voice multiple characters.
I might have given it to WarioWare if they'd had more voice acting. It's just sad.
Partial and awkward.
It's partial.
And they got everyone back, but they just didn't record full lines. Other languages did record full lines. We're talking English in here.
Anyways. We are Americans. So now specifically, we are going best voice actor or voice actress.
Not the character, but the person that they voiced. So we have, I will get the list.
Thank you for the list.
Yes. Okay.
We've got Robin Atkin Downs as Travis Touchdown, Susie Young as Yuffie Kisaragi. We've got Kellen Goff as Glamrock Freddy, also voicing Sundrop and Moondrop. We got Richard Steven Horowitz as Rasputin Aquato, and Robbie Damon as Young Cricket, Mike, and Orbulon.
Oh, this is hard.
It is hard.
Do you want to come out with your number 1?
Coming out, my number 1. I gotta give it to my boy, Robbie Damon. Because he did 3 separate voices that all sound completely different. He is a young apprentice man. He is a robot, a sassy robot.
Deadpan robot.
And a pure alien boy.
Curious alien
boy.
The bad is mine.
Locating hams is a risky biz.
I'm gonna give it to Robin Atkin Downs for Travis. He's
my number 2.
The dad energy.
He's killing it.
He just brings that dad energy that we so desperately needed and did not know we needed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Kellendoff did do a great job bringing the dad energy to Freddy, but
that's big brother energy, not so much dad energy. And I didn't really pay much attention to 7 intergrade to know about this new Yuffie voice, but from the trailers, she sounded really spunky. She sounds like who I imagine Yuffie to sound like. Now, if we can just hear who voices Sid and Vincent and maybe see a little content with them,
yes, please.
I will be happy.
Who's your number 2?
I'm gonna give it to Raz.
Very nice.
Because
he is a very high-profile voice actor.
Yes.
I'm glad they got him back. He did very good. I do think it's a funny little Easter egg is that his archetype of himself, he basically makes like a persona of himself. His clone to help him is voiced by Gur from Invader Zim. So it's a really funny callback.
There we go. We're just here.
All right, so we're out of the voice acting categories. Time for our best DLC of 2021.
This is like all of the DLC. This isn't just the one occurrence, I think.
Yes,
okay.
It's all of it.
So
we've got Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, the Intergrade part of it, I guess. I'm still confused about it, but
it might have belonged at like
we've got the final wave of Super Smash Bros. Fighters Pass 2 DLC. Got the added content for Mario Golf Super Rush. Happy Home Paradise, the addition to...
And the 2.0 update.
And the 2.0 update to Animal Crossing New Horizons. And the surprise edition of Online to Super Mario Party. That appeared out of nowhere.
Long overdue, but I really like what Mario Golf did. I'm sad that they haven't given too many interesting golf outfits to people yet.
They didn't let Kamek golf.
They didn't bring Kamek in, and they didn't let any Koopalings in, and I'm sorry, but they did pick some picks that I was like, oh, that's cute.
But Wiggler.
We're gonna get over Wiggler, okay?
Alright, who's your number 1?
My number 1's gonna be Animal Crossing.
I mean, absolutely, it was phenomenal.
Yes.
It single-handedly brought everyone back into the Animal Crossing community. Everybody's like, oh my god!
I'm born again!
It brought stuff I didn't even know I wanted, like shelves.
And gyroids! Mother of
They're so
God,
cute!
Gyroids.
Alright, what's your number 2?
I'm gonna give it to Mario Golf. It added a lot more content.
You know,
it added like double the stages.
The last time I can ever do it, I suppose. So I got to give it to the Fighters Pass DLC because it was just so much fun.
Maybe it's because I don't own the Fighter Pass. You do, and we split.
It
consoles,
was just so much fun. Waiting for all the announcements, getting to play them when they dropped. Oh,
yeah,
getting everybody hyped around it. Oh.
Yeah,
it was a very fun experience.
So is that your number 1 or your number 2?
That's my number 2. My number 1 is Animal Crossing, obviously.
Yeah, because it brought everybody back from the dead. All right, we're halfway through this.
Woo! Halfway.
We've got to get through this, or I guess you'll just go late to the thing that you need to go to.
Whatever. All right, time for the fun categories. We've got Best Girl.
This doesn't just apply to girls. I feel
it also applies to women.
So in this category, we have Penny
Crygor.
It's like Cygor. No, it's Crygor.
From Warioware Get It Together.
Samus Aran.
From Metroid Dread.
Big Leg Lady. Big Lady.
What? Mommy Milky. What's her name? I don't know. Lady Demescu? Yeah. Sorry.
Big Leg Lady.
The lady that got everyone to play Resident Evil 8. Yes. We've got Bad Girl, also known as Charlotte Birkin.
Yep.
And you pick Susie.
But Noelle was really close.
Okay.
I can't lie. Okay. So for me, Best Girl's gonna go to Susie because
you love Susie.
She really came into her own. Chapter 1 of Deltarune was like her going from mean to somewhat nice to like, you've earned her friendship. And in Chapter 2, we are just living off those like, yeah, come on, Chris, let's go! Yeah. We just saved the world. We're so cool. And it's just, I like her energy. I like her attitude. I think she's just really funny and
my number 1 has to go to Best Girl Samus Aran for coming out of the shadows and punching everyone in the face and going, Metroid is great. play my game.
That's true. And also, she goes through a lot of misogynistic comments in that game. They're like, all right, lady, we'll get you to your planet. She's like, excuse me.
She's just so cool.
And my number 2 is just a bit of a sympathetic pick. I'll give it to Charlotte.
Oh, I do love Charlotte.
Because
she's great.
It gets into spoilers for No More Heroes 3.
And she is going to be part of the DLC that's coming out soon.
There's DLC for No More Heroes 3?
Soon.
What?
It's not out yet.
I didn't know that.
But it's going to focus on Shinobu and Charlotte.
Okay, that's literally all I needed. Talk about a rare pair that has, like, no content. It's those two. Anyways.
My number 2 is Penny.
Okay, but to get to No More 3 Hero spoilers, her dad dies.
Oh. It's near the beginning.
Well, it's such a surprise because you think going in you're gonna have a whole entourage, and then they just get beat down, and she's just
like
Shinobu
gets into an accident.
She gets both of her arms ripped off. She's already had one arm ripped off, and now it's 2.
Geez.
And then Badman just dies, and Charlotte just can't
She
cope.
just can't cope with that.
Like,
it's just
this
like, oh my god,
is so sad. And then at the end of the game, she comes to terms with it. And in her own way, she tells a story that's like, I always got the ice cream and I really liked the coffee flavor. But when you asked me, I would just go with the mint and the chocolate because it was more normal for me to have those than the others. And it's like, she's rambling.
Adorable.
But this is very bittersweet. And even though her mind is broken, I think it's okay that she's neurodivergent. I think she still has a good place in the world.
Very good.
And she needs to live with Shinobu in an apartment. And can they be girlfriends, please? And thank you.
I picked Penny. I love Penny.
Penny was really fun. I would give her.
I love how they made
for it.
Get It Together Penny's game.
Yeah, we were like, "Where's the Penny?
Where's the Penny?
She's the star of the show.
Obviously, she has to be here.
She was getting ready. All right, so now we go on to Best Boy.
Best Boy. All right, so for Best Boy, we've got Orbulan, Brewster,
Glamrock Freddy.
What's his name?
Aogami. I would have put. Here's the thing. I would have put the Nahobino, but it didn't feel right to put the non-binary Nahobino into the Best Boy category, which makes me sad because we couldn't put them in any category because they're non-binary, and I felt sad about that. But it's
we have so many categories.
I know. But
and then
honorable mention to Nahobino, Ralze. There you go.
Sorry.
Soft boy.
I was kind of relying on you to put in all of the Shin Megami Tensei 5 stuff, and then you're like, Deltarune!
Well, I didn't really play 5 this year. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
My number 1 pick will go to Glamrock Freddy.
Me too. I love him.
I like how he just had a caring attitude.
They made Freddy the best character.
He knows how to deal with children.
To protect Gregory. I
read a comment in someone's video pointed this out. It's that he congratulates you every time you go to a new room.
Like, great job, Superstar.
Which is true because you're just living on the edge.
You're like, please be my dad.
Leave. I can't leave without you. And he's like, but I can't leave. And it's like, we're gonna steal you.
Freddy, I want.
You would think my number 2 would be Ralze, but I think he enforces the soft boy a little too much. Especially in Chapter 2, because in Chapter 1 he's like a warlock who's lonely, but in Chapter 2 he's very much like, nobody's ever complimented me before, and he'll say it like 50 times, and you're like, I get it, Ralze, you're drawing a sin, but what for? I don't know. I don't think he's 100% evil, but I don't think he's telling us the full story. And for that reason, number 2 will go to Brewster.
Oh, I love Brewster.
Because as Blather said, Brewster, my beloved, has been away, and we needed to go get him. And that meme of the big-chested man and the person staring at it
oh my God.
perfectly applies to Brewster.
I love it. I have to give it to Orbulan because, like, not only was I so glad that Orbulan is in the game, he's great, but he's also, like, the best character.
The best.
He, like, breaks all of the games, and I love him.
Isn't he the highest
I'm so
rated?
Glad. Yes, he's the highest rated out of all of them.
Wow.
Some people think that 5-Volt's better, like, just because situationally in games she's better, but for, like, a flat rate in all the games, Orbulan's just amazing.
But I will give a shout out to Aogami. He's like your robot butler.
I do love robot butlers.
And he's really cool like that. but I haven't beat it yet, so
Alrighty,
I haven't finished watching Sir Lionheart play it, so I can't give a full definition about him. All right, best villain is next.
Villain.
So we've got the Queen from Deltarune Chapter 2, Fu from No More Heroes 3.
I always wondered if his name was supposed to be a joke on FU.
It is. And it's like Fu-chan, because he was like in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His story is interesting.
And then there's
his name is Fury Bowser.
Fury Bowser. Thank you. And we couldn't really pick anyone from Security Breach, so we had Roxanne.
I picked Roxanne because I like her the best out of the
feel for her.
You really feel for her. Like, she's got self-esteem issues, and then you run her over with a truck and steal her eyeballs, and she's still got to run after you. She actually becomes a lot harder after you steal her eyeballs.
Oh, because you can't stun her anymore?
Because she'll just go...
Yikes. And then there is...
Maligula from Psychonauts.
Psychonauts 2. I'm gonna give it to... Who are you gonna give it to?
My boy Bowser.
Okay.
He stepped into that villain role and punched everyone in the face.
One-winged Bowser. One-shelled Bowser, if you will.
Everybody looked at that form and went, oh. Mario looked at the form and went, oh.
And then Junior went, what? What are you looking at?
He's like, well, nothing.
I mean, I guess in terms of, am I looking for a serious villain or...
I don't know, whoever you liked.
I liked Queen.
Then go with Queen.
All right, number one will be Queen because she provided a lot of laughs. Crisscross applesauce. We are friends. I like how all of our words were capitalized. That was my explosive glass. And Chris, get the banana. I am worried about Noelle. What if she dies from potassium deficiency?
I will say, Fu is a cool villain, but I kind of hated him, so I don't want to put him
You're
on
made
those.
to hate him.
I know. So he works in the villain setting because I hate him.
For that, he's my number 2. Because I think a lot of people talked about this. It's that he really touches in that coming back to things. That's a definite theme that Travis Strikes Again and No More Heroes 3 had, which is when you return to something that you haven't for so long, it's not as rosy as it always was. There's ignoring the past, and then there's returning to the past and seeing that it wasn't great.
He's a lot like the secret villain from Psychonauts 2, which I won't spoil just because I want people to experience.
But it's very much
too.
That Fu is like that. It's like that guy that you knew in grade school. And he's back and he's post-college and he's like, hey man, what's going on? You know, we're so cool. And they say those catchphrases from when you were little. And then you realize slowly as you're, spending time with them, they're not
matured.
They haven't matured or they've taken a turn for the worse. They're trying to get you into those pyramid schemes. They're trying to get you into drugs. And you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be like. And it's hard to get away from that.
I gotta go with Roxanne. She's just so cool.
From Roxanne, I almost wished we had a Undertale version of Security Breach.
I would absolutely like an Undertale version of Security Breach. Where you can rescue all the animatronics.
Where you could help them all, and you I don't know.
Maybe in a DLC.
Maybe. But I doubt it. It's someone put in a good way, which is like, you're fighting for your life here, and you don't have the power. But in the same way, Frisk and Undertale didn't have the power. They were like a 4-year-old child.
Baby.
Who's like... And then the people who they would pat on the back are like, you get it.
And now for our fun category, Best Gag Character.
Yeah.
By gag character, I mean like comic relief, whatever.
Comic relief, someone who makes us laugh, not just the characters
it's just
in
there
universe.
for stupid reasons.
Yeah. So
we've gone with Sonic Juice, the RPG man.
I would have picked
No More Heroes.
I would have picked.
Who would you have picked?
The rank 9 assassin, Gold Joe.
Oh, Gold Joe is.
Oh, snippity,
snap,
crackle, snap, pop.
Whoa. He's great.
They're really fun.
I love Sonic Juice just not only because of his personality.
He's really thoughtful.
He's very thoughtful, but also his boss fight is great.
Because you think you're stuck in it.
Because he forces you into an RPG, and then Travis is like,
looks suspiciously like Final Fantasy VII.
I hate RPGs. I just want to have a normal boss fight. He's like, all right, fine.
Well, no, he won't even give it up. You have to beat up the arena, and he's like, what'd you do? And Travis is like, I'm sick of your stupid rules. And they're like, fine.
You beat up the text box. It's great.
Yeah.
well, not number 2, but our next pick is the horse from Miitopia.
The horse.
Just because it was hard to pick like an individual character because you could pick whoever
you want.
There's like specific scenarios that the horse can do.
Okay.
Like the one where like you're asleep and they start talking to you and you're like, whoa.
That is funny. Also, it's just funny what you name your horse.
My balls.
And then
mine's Belladonna.
Yeah. So then number 3.
Good old Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is that his name?
Probably.
Sorry.
Danny.
I love him.
Danny.
My favorite Danganronpa character.
Too stupid to...
He's too stupid.
To die.
I
really like that. That's funny.
Of course, the memeiest pick on this list of memes is Nigel Thornberry from Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where it's like...
we could have picked a ton of characters from that game, but truly...
Patrick, SpongeBob,
Powdered Toast Man,
Cat Dog,
Garfield.
So many. But I had to give it to Nigel Thornberry because he plays it so serious. And he's got
smashing.
One detraction from him is that he doesn't have voice lines yet.
So
they've been promised to be added in, but
it would make it so much funnier.
But yeah, and then our last one is Birdly from Deltarune.
Falco Lombardi.
Falco Lombardi, who is more of a gamer than we previously thought, and as a gamer myself, he is my number 1 pick. Because I
haven't played any of Deltarune, but I did look at a compilation of Weirdly moments for this list, and I can attest he's funny.
Some people just hate him with a dying vengeance, and it's like, I wonder if that hatred comes from just that being yourself in a past situation. Because it's true that
he's very cringe.
He's very self-proclaimed and like, I'm the smartest because I get A+, and then when he has to finally come to terms with not being the smartest in everything, he's so heartbroken. He's like, no.
All right, so who's your pick for number 1 meme boy?
Well, that was my number 1 pick.
Your number 1 pick is Birdly?
Yeah.
Who's your number 2 then?
Despite no voice lines, if he had voice lines, he would have been number 1. Number 2 is going to Nigel Thornberry because his moveset's really funny and he has a Jigglypuff down B for smashing.
I went with the horse for number 1.
Okay.
I love my horse. They're great.
The horse.
And number 2, I went with Sonic Juice because I love how he's not only just funny in personality, but also funny in his boss fight.
Yep.
Very good. Very nice.
Very good.
All right. So now
here we get to this is just a pure us category right here.
Best alternate costumes.
Because this is important.
Because we love costumes. They're great.
Yes.
All right. We've got Big Cat Mario from Bowser's Fury.
He's like a lion.
He's a lion boy. Oh, I love it. We've got the Decor Pikmin from Pikmin Bloom.
Yes.
The Take Care outfits from Deltarune.
It's just a little one sprite thing. Noelle also has one. Hers is funny because she'll move in her sprite because she trips and she falls right into her medicine.
And we've got all the golfing outfits from Mario Super Rush because I could not pick one because they're all too great.
Yes.
And then I went with the Timeless River outfit for
I would have
Sora from
gone with
Smash
the
Ultimate.
Cosmos outfit.
You like the Cosmos
Or
outfit?
the swapped colors outfit.
I do like that one too.
That one is just
Smash
funny.
Ultimate, they always go so hard.
They know
with
how
the
to do those
costumes.
outfits. So I think my number 1 is going to be the golfing outfits.
Me too.
Because they're so...
There's Doug Dimmadome, Wario.
Smexy.
Oh my god. Waluigi's outfit. There's Junior's little clown car visor.
There's nothing that makes
Bowser.
someone...
Oh, man.
There's nothing that makes Mario and Luigi hotter than polos.
Than a popped collar.
Than a zipped collar.
A zipped down pop collar. I'm like, oh.
It reminds me of a little comic from there was that Tumblr artist, and it was about how Mario and Luigi had their outfits for tennis, and everyone loved that belly that you saw with the thing, and then Mario and Waluigi are like, where are our fans? Why do they get the attention? And it's like, sorry, you're just not as schmexy. And then Bowser got an outfit.
And it's like,
Yes.
Bowser needs to wear gloves more.
And I
often.
also
Fingerless
really
gloves
like
for Bowser, please.
I really like that the girls had all sorts of different outfits. It wasn't just
outfits. So
it wasn't
cute.
just dresses. Some people had dresses, like Rosalina, because she doesn't need to run. Pauline,
They're different styles of dresses. Too.
Yes.
Pauline has her very cute outfit.
Pauline has like pants on.
Mm-hmm. Her leggings.
Yeah, and then Daisy has like a sporty skirt on.
All right, then for number 2, I've gone with the Decor Pikmin.
I've also gone with the Decor Pikmin.
Because they are so cute. I'm looking at this macaron one, and I'm like, I need it now.
It's hard to find a dessert place, though.
Oh.
That is the trouble, is that 90,
so cute.
They're 90
hard
to
to get,
95% of the Pikmin you'll find are the roadside ones, which just have a little sticker on them, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever.
All right, so our next category is best duo or pairing.
This is
duo.
Duo does not mean romantic.
Does not mean romantic. It can be platonic. It can be like parent, child, whatever.
It can be brotherly. It can be romantic.
It can be the relationship between a young boy and his animatronic guardian.
And it's, it's about family.
It's about family. All right, so we've got Mario and Bowser Jr. from Bowser's Fury. We've got the Pyra/Mythra duo from Smash Ultimate. We've got Wario and Waluigi living their best life in Mario Golf. We've got Glamrock Freddy and Gregory from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And
our tougher duo unit,
Faye.
So tough.
It was between this pick and Marianne and Hilda.
Yes.
But we went with Hinata and Camilla because I am a simp for Camilla.
We are simple.
Sorry.
We are simple women.
I am a simpleton. I love Camilla.
We see Camilla
and Camilla with Hinata, and they've got matching braids, and I'm like, yes.
But the biggest shout out to Hilda and Marianne.
That was also a great pairing.
The thing that sold it for Hinata and Camilla was that their braids have their hair.
And their outfits match a little better.
And it's like,
it's cute. I like it a lot.
But despite saying that, my number 1 is going to Wario and Waluigi.
Of course!
Because you run into them in the story mode of Mario Golf. Whoops.
I love they're just hanging out together.
They're just two guys they're just two bad fellas who met each other and are having a good time.
I love them so much.
I love how they're like, we'll split the money 50-50. 50 for me and 50 for Waluigi. I love that plan, Wario.
70-30, like I said. 70 for me, 30 for you.
What? You didn't say that. Anyways, they're just two great guys.
I love them.
They're all they need.
So, number 2 pick, I have to go with Gregory and Freddy.
It was number 1, Wario and Waluigi.
Yes, of course.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
But I did like Gregory, but I'm sorry. I'm a shipping fool.
Be that simp.
I'm going for a rare pair.
You gotta simp.
Hinata and Camilla. Because there's nothing better about fates than shipping the siblings from opposite factions together.
Yes,
it's like you can do the awkward thing and marry Camilla to Ryoma or Takumi. It's like, why do that?
No.
When you could give her
Hinata.
to Hinata. Like, literally, they're opposites, but that's all about family for them.
All right, we're getting in the home stretch here. We've got best art direction.
Woo!
Artsy fartsy time. Which game is pretty and wonderful, and I love looking at it.
All right, we've got
new Pokemon Snap, Psychonauts 2, No More Heroes 3, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, and Neo, The World Ends With You. That probably should have been on this list more, but I haven't played it. Sorry.
Noodles, come and find me so you can tell me how great
Don't add
Neo, The World Ends With You is, please.
It looks great.
I'm gonna give it, my number 1 is gonna go to Psychonauts 2.
Whoa!
It was originally going to go to No More Heroes 3, but No More Heroes 3 has a little bit of a rendering problem, where sometimes when textures first come onto the scene, they're really low res, and it's like, ooh, that doesn't look great. But I do love...
I gotta give it to Psychonauts 2 also.
Psychonauts 2, it taps that itch that I've been itching.
Not only does it look great, but the character design is fantastic.
It's been scratching that itch that I felt when I watched Box Trolls by Leica Studios.
It does look a lot like Box Trolls.
And that's why it's wonderful. It's like a storybook, but people have extremities that are proportioned to things.
It's like just grungy, but art.
Like their eyeballs will be in weird places, but that just helps. And it's just got great level design too. Like the teeth world is scary.
Oh god.
But holy moly,
it's great.
It looks like teeth. And
number 2, I went with Chicory.
Okay.
Because from what I've seen of it, it is a very aesthetically pleasing game. Like, there's just those games that are made to be looked at.
Yeah. I'm stuck between 3 right now. I'm stuck between No More Heroes 3 because it does have a lot fun going
Visual
for it.
flair. It's great.
But Chicory again, hand drawn. But Neo is also a really good looking game. It translated into 3D very well.
They upscaled those character models very nicely.
So just for you, Noodles, I will give it to Neo The World Ends With You.
And speaking of anime, it's time for Best Anime Game.
Yeah.
So this is a weird category.
Well, it's just because I noticed, like, we have a lot of anime games on here.
Let's just make a whole list for anime.
Which game is the most anime?
Which is the most moe?
Moe. Here's my question. Are we going to rank it based on what is the most anime?
No, just how much you like it, I guess.
Okay. Dang, there's no rules. So we have...
There are no rules.
Genshin Impact, Neo The World Ends With You, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, No More Heroes 3, and Danganronpa Decadence. I will say, if we were ranking by which one is the most anime, it would probably be Danganronpa, but I don't love Danganronpa, what it focuses on in the anime-ness.
True.
I'm gonna give it to No More Heroes 3, because that game is just bananas crazy.
I love No More Heroes 3. I gotta give it to No More Heroes 3.
It's like, it'll just change art direction so much.
Like, whoa, isn't this the set of that one anime? Cool!
You know, this is like those Tatsunoko shows from Kamen Rider Zero. Ew, you're a weeb.
Travis just feels like a weeb, and I love it.
Well, he is a weeb, but in No More Heroes 1 and 2, he held that against people, and in this one, he's taken, like, a high art degree to it. He's like, what animes do you watch? And then they'll mention them by name and censor out some of the letters so they don't get sued, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Everybody loves this one director.
Like, the way he yells out stuff during his attacks, his whole Ultron form is Ultraman form, sorry.
It's his Tatsunoko
form.
It's great. It just all plays to that.
My number 2 is Danganronpa Decadence.
Okay.
It just feels very anime.
It is very anime. But I gave it to Neo The World Ends With You, so I'm gonna give it to Genshin, because for a mobile game, it looks
very nice.
really, really good. And we talked about it before, but it's mainly based in China. It is a Chinese company that's developing it, but they will have Korean and Japanese
influences,
and perhaps Vietnamese, Taiwanese, Hong Kong. They'll just combine it all together and make it all look really good and appealing. And it's like, you can make an anime out of anything.
All right, and we've got most wholesome game.
Yeah, the one that just fills you with...
I could just
play turn your brain off.
Turn your brain off and feel happy.
Some of the games will make you cry.
So we've got Animal Crossing New Horizons with the Happy Home Paradise DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Chicory, A Colorful Tale. Mm-hmm. New Pokemon Snap. Pikmin Bloom, and your pick was Unpacking.
Yeah, it's very much a puzzle game where you unpack stuff.
Unfortunately, Sakura did not come out this year, and I couldn't put that one on here because dang, I love that game. Oh, feels that Harvest Moon niche I have.
Oof. I'm gonna give my number one to Animal Crossing.
I do love Animal
everyone's
Crossing.
Really nice to you, and this further customization is just opened up the way to more designs. You make houses for people. You don't just have to remodel your house over and over again. You get to pair people together, make roommates, make whole establishments.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
They were roommates.
I'm giving it to New Pokemon Snap. I very much enjoyed New Pokemon Snap.
To turn your brain off.
It's very chill.
Click, click.
You just get to feel excited looking at Pokemon. You're like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Woo!
Yeah, and then I like Pikmin Bloom because for being a mobile game, it's not wanting your attention all of the time. You check in sporadically.
And you go for long walks.
and all it really cares about is steps. And you don't need to be playing the game for it to count the steps. But there's a lot of funness to be had, and just to grow your army one by one is really fun. What's not fun are the inventory limits, but Whatever.
Well, my number 2 is New Horizons. Very good, very nice. All right.
So then we have ongoing game. This is
these
bit
are
of
games
a weird
that did not
pick.
So this is a list for games that did not come out in 2021, but that are still getting new content and people are still playing in 2021.
Yes.
It's a weird one.
It's
mostly
no mobile
for me
games.
to stick mobile games here.
Yeah. But we do have some regular games. So we have Animal Crossing, Happy Home Paradise, Pokemon Go, Fire Emblem Heroes, Genshin Impact, and Minecraft.
I went with Minecraft. They did get that big axolotl update this year. It was very nice. And also, this was the year, I didn't mention it, I got into Minecraft this year. It's taken up.
I would give more quality to Pokemon Go, but honestly, this was, again, a drop-off year for me where I was like, no. And then also that they're like,
playing a
hey,
lot
you know
Pokemon
that
Go.
bonus that we were giving you? We're going to take it back now. And there was a big uproar about that. Like, come on.
Fire Emblem Heroes had the big Chapter 5 update.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give my number 1 to Animal Crossing. Again, because it added so much. Just bam.
I will say, I did drop off of Animal Crossing for a while, and the new content did get me to play it for a little bit, but
You haven't come back to
I haven't come
it?
back, like, full to playing
You don't even have all the KK songs yet.
I know.
What are we doing?
I'm giving it to Minecraft then, because...
Okay.
Like, I just got into it this year, and already I'm like, okay, I can see why people play this all the time.
Like, for all of their lives.
And exotics are cute.
And number 2 for me is going to Fire Emblem Heroes. Because I liked what the story did this book.
Mm-hmm.
It did end a little fast, but...
And all they all.
Whatever. And there were a lot of fun seasonals this year. Pirates,
yes.
The ninjas, this winter, all that.
We got the new baby units.
Baby units, all that good stuff.
I'm giving it to Pokemon Go because I got really into Pokemon Go.
Okay.
All right. So this one is best best trailer of 2021.
Like one that debuted.
So we can talk about games that haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
But we have a trailer for them. So we've got the Sora is Finally Here trailer for Smash Ultimate's DLC.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Metroid Dread reveal trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The Splatoon 3, either the reveal trailer or the single player trailer. We've got the new Breath of the Wild gameplay trailer, and we've got the Pokemon Legends Arceus gameplay trailer where they revealed all the new forms and stuff.
Number 1 for me is Splatoon 3.
Oh.
It was just like, oh! So much. You can just see all the stuff that they're adding.
It was a very nice trailer.
You just feel that intensity.
Feel that energy. I gotta give it to Sora. Because, you know what, after watching all these trailers, they really knocked it out of the park for the final one.
Okay. I just haven't been too connected to Smash this year.
I just like watching it. It's fun.
And then I'll give the second place one to Breath of the Wild 2. I'm saying that with confusion because I was a part of a podcast that talked about that trailer for like an hour. And I was just like, I'm really bored.
Like, I thought it was a good trailer, but it's not something I'd be like, whoa!
We don't want to comb it for details like we do.
That's my thing with...
The Kirby trailer, which just came out today.
Like, this is my thing with Breath of the Wild. It's like, I can only keep my hype going for so long.
Yeah.
Like, that was how it was with the original Breath of the Wild. Like, I was excited, and then, like, we got nothing forever, and I was like, okay, I'm not excited anymore. And then, we got another trailer, and I'm like, okay, I can be a little more excited. And then I'm like, okay, it's not out yet.
Okay, I'm gonna switch mine to Sora's Back. Because it was a fun trailer.
My number 2 will go to Metroid Dread for, like, appearing out of nowhere, smacking everyone in the face, going, we brought back this game from the dead,
we're sorry,
and it's coming out this year.
We're sorry that Prime 4 has been taking so long. Will this do?
Yes! Yes! It may not be my game, but, you know, I enjoyed it. We're finally at our final topic! Oh, God, how long have we been recording?
I don't know, and... We've been keeping you too
long.
I'm
late. Oh, well.
Late for that very important date. So honestly, we haven't watched too many of these.
That's true. So for our final category, it's a little less to do with video games. We've got the best video game related movie or show or short or media thing that's not a video game.
and it's not like inside of a video game.
Yeah.
So
there really wasn't a ton of content this year.
I feel like there was,
like this
and
year
we
will
weren't.
be the new one.
Okay.
Well, there was, and we weren't super invested in it.
Yeah. So we have a little bit of a cheat on here. So first we have. I'll list them in terms of relevance. So we got Mortal Kombat, the movie, which people were excited for, and then it was quietly released on on-demand services.
I think it came out in theater too.
Maybe.
I didn't really hear anything about it.
I think it was good? Question mark.
Apparently, it wasn't a dumpster fire like the second one.
Yeah.
So I guess it was fine.
Yeah.
I'm not super into Mortal Kombat.
And then there were Sonic Colors shorts.
Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisps, I think is what it was called. It was very well done. It was done by what's his face?
Ian Flynn.
Yeah, him.
I feel like we've been relying on him too much and just thinking of him as the Sonic
He's
guru.
the new Sonic man.
And it's like,
just
that's fine, but I'd like to get someone else who knows how to respect Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay.
I'm not
You just want that
I'm not
Shadow,
accusing
baby.
Ian Flynn of like
not respecting
Shadow, but I need someone pushing to respect Shadow. Then we have a League of Legends adjacent cartoon, Arcane, which I've heard is very good.
My boss suggested it to me.
To watch it?
Mm-hmm.
Because
he likes that
League
kind of
player. I've heard if you want to watch it though, that maybe it's either She-Ra or Centaur World does a lot of what this show does, but it's not League connected.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe that's the better one.
And then
Poketoons.
There was a lot of Pokemon related content. There was
Yeah.
Pokemon Evolutions, which came out for the anniversary, and then there was the new season, Pokemon Master Journeys. But the one I gravitated towards was the Poketoons, which are basically like little Pokemon shorts.
Just little stories.
But they're just little stories, they're not connected to anything, and they're just people having fun with new art styles with Pokemon.
Living in the Pokemon world. Mm-hmm. And also, it wasn't ugly.
They're adorable.
Like Pokemon Evolutions.
True.
Is so ugly. It was.
Sorry.
I saw the Leon episode, and I'm like, oh, no.
I don't want to look at Leon.
I'm not even gonna look at these others. Perhaps I judged based on the title, but I'm not super... Again, what Evolution's doing is what Generations did.
It just feels like Generations again.
And it's like, why did it need a new name? Just make that a short OVA series, and everyone will be happy.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then your cheat pick.
My cheat pick. Okay. I really enjoyed Space Jam 2 this year.
Because it had games in it.
It was game related, and they do play the Game Boy Advance Bugs Bunny game.
No, it's a Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color Bugs Bunny game.
That was a funny part of the movie where he's so immersed in playing it, and then the coach slaps it out of his hands.
Oh, snap!
Oh, snap, indeed!
I don't know.
LeBron, what are you doing out
there
here?
were a lot of picks I was super invested in. I think 2022 will really be the video game media.
What are you seeing for
the Mario movie?
Oh, yeah.
The Sonic movie.
Oh, yeah.
More Poketoons, like we've already got a few that are pretty cute.
Ooh, okay. Well, okay, no, we've already got winners, but I guess for number 2,
number 1.
Sorry, number 1, I'll give it to Poketoons.
I also have to pick the Poketoons. They're so cute.
They're just really cute and fun.
Like they make you feel for Slugma. Like there's one about Slugma, and I'm just like,
it's the secret of Slugma.
Wow.
Slugma's secretive. Elusive. Toot toot. So what's your number 2?
Alright, it was my cheat pick, so I'm going Space Jam 2.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry! You know how invested I got in Space Jam 2.
It's true. I did like Space Jam 2, but there's not much keeping me invested in it.
That's fine.
There's no soundtrack that I can keep listening to and just loving it. And I haven't watched the other 2, so I guess I'll give it to Sonic Colors.
Sonic Colors was cute for what it was.
Yeah, and they had Metal Sonic.
It was just a little added content.
Yeah, just like little
to
promotional.
Fill in the little gaps in Sonic Colors' story.
It's all good. And I like how Sonic
more content is good content.
Eggman out to be a buffoon, and then Tails is like Sonic.
I like how the Wisp starts embellishing the story just because he can sense that Sonic's bored.
Woo!
And then he drives in a boss car and fights a dinosaur.
What?
Whoa! Oh, you just embellished the story because I was falling asleep.
That was fun.
Very cute. Oh, we're done!
Well, let's give a polite clap to the award
Plus
ceremony.
to all the games on this list, all the games that weren't on this list. I almost put Balan Wonderland on the list somewhere, and I was like, nah.
I think it was in art direction, and I was like, get that out of there.
No! You slapped it out of there.
We're putting in Deltarune. Or no, it's Deltarune.
So this is already probably a huge episode, lordy lord.
Yes.
So I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a little departure from what we usually do. We'll get back to our normal Mario-ness very soon.
Yeah.
But until then, where can we find you, Delfino Durians?
I will be at delfinodurians.tumblr.com.
And you can find me at peachsupremart.tumblr.com.
Outro was made by Taylor Lair. Listen to her music at tlair.bandcamp.com. That's T, the letter T, LARE.bandcamp.com.
I hope you all enjoyed all of these games of 2021. If there are some games on the list that you hadn't thought to play and maybe you're thinking about them,
actually,
jump into it.
Leave in the comments of the YouTube video what you would have picked.
Also, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. Sorry if you've listened to this whole thing on a podcast service, but I would recommend watching it on YouTube because I made some visuals to go with it and they look nice and I was very proud of them.
They look good.
Thank you.
Bye, Zani!
Bye, Zani!